is some hip and leg strengthening that you can do all in standing. If you want to, you can add some resistance and some challenge by adding hand weights, weighted balls or something heavier if you want to. Start in our usual upright position, ground of the head bone tall, gentle tuck on the tailbone, centre engaged, and we'll come up onto the toes to find balance. Lovely. When you're steady, start lowering one heel at a time. So coming from tiptoes to lowering one heel. Now the pelvis just goes up and down. There's no side to side movement, no tipping. You can start adding in the arms, so it's the opposite arm to the knee that's bending. Try and keep the shoulders back and down, length through the back of the neck. We're just warming up coordination, as well as the calf muscles, the balance, and starting to focus on our usual principles. You can start increasing the range of movement in the shoulders, as long as you can still keep the tops of the shoulders down. You can speed it up, but just make sure that pelvis is going straight up and down. Nice steady breath. Take it really nice and quick. Get the circulation going as well. Last couple, but slow it down. So you get that little change over at the top where you're on both tiptoes. Slow it right down, and we'll aim to finish on tiptoes. Slow, controlled lower. Good, let's take it out wider for our side plie and stretch. So make sure that the space is underneath the arches so that your knees are nice and open from the hips, so that when you squat down, knees come out towards the toes. Push across. Have a breath in while you stretch. And back and up. Lower. Pause here in a good strong squat. Push across. Breathe in while you do that side lunge. Back and up. And keep going. Always keep that tailbone gently tucked with the length through your low back, so you're not overarching into it. Last one. Great, we're going to stay out in this wider based squat position. Okay, we're going to start coming down with the tailbone low, arms out to the shoulder side, your shoulders are back and down, keeping your centre engaged. Lift through both heels and then lower them down again. Again, lift and lower. So all the movement is happening at the hips to allow the heels to raise up without your pelvis lifting. See if you can come in with the breathing. Out, in. You can always rest your arms if you need to. Try and bring them back out again. Out, in. I'm going to stay down low in this squat and start instead to alternate the feet. Keeping that pelvis nice and low, keeping the hips nice and open. When you replace the heel down, just be sure that you're keeping a little space underneath the arches of the feet. Good. Now I'm going to take it to one side only. So lift and lower on just one heel. and keep going. Don't let those shoulders creep up. Try the other side. Lifting and lowering with control. Good. Okay, let's pulse it out. Little pulses. Lowering a little bit deeper into the squat. Pulsing up and down for the last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and push up. Good. Okay. You will have to remember to stretch those quads and hip flexors out after this. Make sure they haven't got too tight. Excellent. So we'll come into some side leg lifts next. You don't need your weights. What we're going to do is just take the feet slightly wider than hip width. Soften the knees in standing. Transfer all the weight onto one foot. Really engage the glutes on that side. Keep your whole body upright so you're growing tall. And just free up the other foot. So there's no weight on that foot now. Because we're going to, on the out breath, lift it out to the side from the hip joint. Lift and lower. So this is without tipping over to the side. So you're trying to stay like a column and lift from the hip. Out breath out, in breath back. Just like our leg lifts that we do in side lying, but here in this great functional standing position, still lifting against gravity, having to work even harder, maintaining a long line, not lying on the mat. Well done, keep going for a couple more. Well done. Rest the toes down, check position, and then we're going to go up and see if we can hold it up there. So hold, and this time try and pulse it. Let's go 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower. Good. Last set, backward circles. So make your toes point. They're going to be, it's like they're drawing, you're drawing with your toes. Keep this engaged so you can circle from the hip. Backward direction circles. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and rest. Good. All right, take it to the other foot. This is work hard, but you need it to work again to keep that strength to hold you upright. Soft knee, don't forget. Start to free this foot up. That's it, still going tall. Out breath, up and out to the side. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. Well done, last one here. Rest it down. Reset, we're going to go for the pulsing ones. So lift it out to the side. Make sure you never hold your breath. Keep breathing while you pulse. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Lower for a little rest. Reset, recenter, and go again for the backward direction circles. So lift. Pointing the toes, circle them. It's like you're drawing circles with that big toe. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and rest. Good. All right, well, we'll finish in standing with our standing clam. Same principle as clam on the mat, but we're incorporating balance in this upright position. So, all the weight on one foot, again, strong through that hip. You can bring the other one so that the toes just connect to be your pivot point. Make sure you keep the hip bones pointing straight forward, and on your out breath, open the knee out to the side, squeezing into the back of that hip. In breath back. So your hip bones are like headlights, they don't change. It's the angle of the hip that does. When we come to the other side, you can continue just like this, or I'll give you an option for how to add resistance to this. The other thing you can do for any of these standing Pilates exercises is to challenge yourself by adding an unstable surface to work on. So you can buy balance pads, or you can maybe just take a cushion, small square cushion off the sofa, and try your balance exercises on that. Well done. After this one, just one more. And rest. So like I said, other side the same. Well, this is an option to use a band or a Pilates ring. Both legs go inside. Goes just above the knee joint, so you don't put pressure on the joints themselves. Okay, working the other side now. We're going to have to come down into a squat on this standing leg to more recreate the same as we do in lying, with both knees bent. Hook the foot for a pivot point. Again, keep the hip bones pointing forward and just open out against the resistance of that band. Focusing on squeezing into your back pocket area. In breath back. Okay, keep going with your reps. Always focus on this centre, keep it engaged. Don't forget about your upper body position. Make sure your shoulders stay open through their fronts. Shoulder blades back and down. And keep growing tall through the crown of your head. Last two. Squeeze, release. One more. Squeeze and release. Great. Do make sure you follow that up with a stretch, either in standing or lying down, or maybe a short sitting sequence.